Hello again and welcome to another edition of the Hampton Roads Sports Report on Cox as we bring high school football highlights from Hampton Roads to you with Morgan Lang. I am Matthew Hatfield. And Morgan, as we go from September to October, we start to separate the contenders from the pretenders. And we do. And that first game we're going to see is in Hampton at Darling Stadium, where we'll see Heritage take on Bethel. Matt, how do you see this one playing out today? I see this one being a tight ball game. In fact, a lot of the experts in the area are predicting this game for it to go down to the wire. Last possession, team with the ball last can win it, as Heritage coming in undefeated. Bethel with only one loss in the year, which was by 1 point. We saw in Sports Report earlier this year to Western Branch. And Heritage gets things going with a freshman quarterback, Jeremiah Boyd, in instead of Malik Deloach, and a great first completion for him as he finds Tim Holden Bethea 67 yards to the house for a touchdown. A terrific start for George Massenburg's team. I'd say, and for Jeremiah Boyd, freshman coming off the gates there to get his first number on the board, his first touchdown, we'll take it. And it's not going to end there, where on Heritage here to Brian Moore getting stopped by Daquan Saab, number 5. A big hit there, and see how it plays out as Heritage here is going to take a chance to get a field goal. Patrick Hilton through the pipes. It's good, getting them on the board, continuing on the board 10-0. A 27-yarder extending that to double-digit lead, much to the delight of Coach Massenburg there. And now it'll be a special teams boost here for Bethel as Evan Scott blocks the punt and recovers it inside the 5-yard line, just what the Bruins needed in a big hole early. Now see Bo Morgan here, like that name Morgan, playing it in to Killebrew, who's going to cut the lead with a quick screen, 7 yards, putting them on the board 10-6. And Morgan was a third-string quarterback a week ago, and their comeback win over Woodside came in and gave them a spark in the fourth quarter, and Coach Bubba Hooker going to him again. And watch the great play here by Boyd as he spins away from 2 defenders, fires it deep before the end of the half, and he's got Marcus Van Hook for a 43-yard touchdown as the freshman has been as cool as a cucumber in this big Peninsula District matchup. Let's take first couple big hits there. First pass, 67 yards. 6th pass, 43 yards. How's the game going to continue here with Heritage going to go over the middle to number 8, Bernard Saxby, who's going to end up taking it in for another score. 31-yard strike from Boyd to Saxby. That gives Boyd 3 touchdowns, and we're still in the third quarter with the Hurricanes up 18 and looking to increase that advantage as you see the nice little juke move by Jamon McEachern, 11-yard touchdown run, and Heritage is rolling here. It was a tight ball game early, and they're starting to pull away from Bethel as we start the fourth quarter. And it's not going to stop there with number 12 here with a pass to number 2. Dimitri Holloway sees his guys fighting to not be brought down there inside the red zone, where it's going to keep playing on here with Holdren on a reverse. He's going to go under 20, 18 yards in for the touchdown, 37-6. Extra point will be good by Patrick Hilton. Continuing to make an effort here. So a lot of people surprised, not that Heritage is winning, but by the margin here as they're just pouring it on against Bethel. The Bruins now going to the air attack with a new quarterback, Anthony Slade. He is picked off by 3-year starting corner Jamal Washington, and Heritage now going to run the football, but they fumble it inside their own 20, so Bethel with a chance to maybe get a little bit closer. Deficit pretty big though, as now you see Slade rolling to his right, finds a man. It's complete to Jerry Forson. Nice 10-yard touchdown catch for the Bruins here. And now we've got the kick return here on the next play, Morgan, and watch this as Tim Bolden Bethea. He had a touchdown run, a touchdown catch, and he could go 90 yards to pay dirt as Holden is golden on this night, folks. Speed is incredible as he keeps going down all the way through. As you say, pays dirt. 44-14 will be the end of the game. And that's Heritage 5-0, best start, unbeaten team in the Peninsula District. Jeremiah Boyd, big game, 3 touchdowns, and Bethel having to Killebrew there with 41 yards, and Heritage takes the lead 44-14. Other Peninsula District scores, it was Woodside edging Gloucester in a tight one, 27-24 behind Jaquan Lasser's 142 total yards and 2 scores. Denby with a shutout over Warwick, 28-0 as Darius Banks catches 2 touchdowns from quarterback Terrence Dingle. And also in the Peninsula District, it was Kickintan over Minchville, 35-0. You see Desmond Savage, the sophomore quarterback, with 149 yards passing, a touchdown throw, and a touchdown run. And we're going to kick off here to Bailey Field, where we're going to see Lafayette take on the Tabb Tigers. We've got an exciting game going here. Interest to see how Bay Rivers District plays out, Matt. And then we've got here with the kickoff. It's going to be a nice start, and players are going to come up with Tabb. It's going to end up being brought down, but solid run for the first play of the game, opening it up. Yeah, Lafayette's offense has been putting up some major numbers this year, and so has Tabb. As you see right here out of the gate, it's the junior Brent Henson with a huge run deep into Lafayette territory before he's eventually knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. The Tigers probably a slight underdog coming to this game, just the way you want to start things off here, and then they will punch it in with Robert Smith's 2-yard touchdown run, and the Tigers lead it 7-0 early on at Bailey Field.
And Lafayette's not going to quit there, though. They've got Brendan McGinty to our man Brandon Villanueva-Purnell, a junior, making a nice catch there. And Jahil Green, Richmond-bound athlete here, number 4, taking in 23 yards for the touchdown to tie the game 7-7, 2 minutes after Tabb's score.
You see the players grabbing on his jersey, trying to bring him down any way they can, and they just can't do it. And that Lafayette defense getting on the act, and guess who? It's Green there with the stop there as an impact hit, just what the Rams want to see on defense to go with that high, potent offense they have. And now they give it back to the running back here, and it is Green in for a touchdown of 23 yards. Lafayette now in front 21-7 very quickly.
And Lafayette here again, nearly picked up by number 17, Blake Gurminski, junior linebacker there. And Lafayette here with BVP, get ready to hear that name quite a bit. He's going to get in for just over the line there for a touchdown, 27-7, Lafayette.
So hard to defend them right now because they can go to Green on the ground and Villanueva-Purnell through the air, and Tabb cannot connect on that pass play. And now they will go back to the rushing attack here. And that is Henson. He's going to break free with a 64-yard gallop to the end zone. And the Tigers now pull in closer, as last year's game was a 37-33 shootout. We could have another high-scoring affair here as the Tigers and their fans are loving that, getting closer against this Lafayette Rams team.
Yeah, it's good to see them getting closer. We'll see how this all plays out here. 5 minutes left here in the second, and Lafayette's going to kick off here, and BVP, our man, is going to end up running it back here. Is he going to be able to break in one, beating the second defender, gets a little juke move in there. We'd like to see his speed, and it almost looks like he's going to make it all the way, but he's brought down just inside the 5-yard line.
And that's excellent starting field position. You can give it to Green, or you can keep it yourself as McGinty does that 1-yard touchdown run. It's the Rams on top 42-14, and we haven't even hit halftime yet. And they're going to kick off to the Rams again now. As you see, Lafayette with special teams threats. You got BVP, and there is Jaleel Green, the future Spider, as he takes it past midfield. And they've had excellent field position all night long, putting the Tabb defense in trouble.
Yeah, it's not going to stop. We've got 24 yards. McGinty to BVP again. These two are a combo. It's going to go to one or the other, as we can clearly see here. And Lafayette is going to have a big play here. Keep your eye out. Number 2, interception. BVP again, playing offense, playing defense. He's making an impact everywhere he can on this team.
All 3 phases of the game, he has been a superstar, and McGinty has found his man, although this time he's intercepted by Tabb close to the goal line. But Lafayette, too much for Tabb in this one, and they will run out the clock with a 63-14 win. Yes, 63 points as McGinty accounts for 6 touchdowns. Green rushes for 2, Villanueva-Purnell with 3 receiving scores, and Brent Henson with 210 yards rushing and a score in the loss for Tabb.
And more in the Bay District, we have New Kent over Grafton, 16-0. Trent Ory having a touchdown and a defensive interception. And what else we have here, Matt?
York blanking Poquoson 13-0 as Darius and Malcolm Reynolds combined for 5 sacks. Glad to see that Malcolm got his keys down and got to the quarterback in that win for the Falcons.
And with more scores across the turf, we'll see here Smithfield over Jamestown, 22-15. Donald King there for Smithfield having a large game, big numbers, 2 touchdowns, getting 3, with more rushing. Bruton over Warhill, 42-21. Capri DeBoer getting a big game as well, 168 rushing yards.
We'll stick around. We'll check in on the Beach District with Salem versus Cox and Pilot at practice with Ocean Lakes here on Sports Report. And welcome back to Sports Report with Morgan Lang. I am Matthew Hatfield. The Ocean Lakes Dolphins are coming off their best season in school history with 14 wins a year ago and coming up a victory shy of a state title. Our friend Larry Rabama from the Virginian-Pilot caught up with Coach Chris Scott and the Dolphins for this feature of Pilot at Practice.
I'm Larry Obama for Pilot at Practice here at Ocean Lakes High School, where last year the Dolphins made it to the championship game but lost. This year, they're trying to win it all. Last year, you got right there, got to the state title game. Now you're trying to get back and win the whole thing this time. Talk about preparing for the season.
I think the guys are definitely hungry, going there, getting there, and then not finishing. What a great game it was. But at the same time, you're left with a sense of hunger to want to get back there. And the talent that we have this year, the guys know it, the coaches know it, that we have the ability to possibly put ourselves back into that situation. But there's a lot of things that must align from the off season all the way up to here to the state championship game. But I think the guys have really prepared really hard in the offseason. They've had one of the best and most toughest regiments that we've had. Come in and had a great first game, then had a bye. Now it's trying to go 1-0 every week to hopefully put ourselves back in that chance.
It was a great experience. We know that every inch counts now, so we've definitely been working hard. So we're gonna try and get back out there and take it this time.
6 inches. That's all we needed. 6 inches. Every inch count. Everything. Give it all. It was a great experience because that means I've been thrown in the fire, so I'm a little more battle-tested than other quarterbacks out here.
Well, I think, just first and foremost, take care of us. I think it's a coach's cliche, but it's just, and it is a cliche, but because it's the truth. I mean, we have to worry about what we do. We have to worry about how we get better each and every down. We have to worry that our quarterbacks and our linemen are coming together. How does this team come together? And we have to worry about ourselves first before we can worry about anyone else. And those things that I think we have to worry about is how we come together up front, offensive line unit, defensive line unit. We've got some very, very fast guys that can touch the ball and go the distance in one play. But can we get those guys lined up and can we get all moving in the right direction? That's the biggest thing. So it's a total team process, how we come together as a team.
I think we got the skill and the speed and everything that it takes. We just need to stay focused and be disciplined. I just hope to bring some pressure to the QB and tackle the running back.
What's it going to take for you guys to win it this year?
Oh, play Dolphin ball. Give it everything you got. Put it all in, all out. Yes, sir.
We don't really pay attention to the rankings. People have predicted us wrong before, and so we don't really pay attention to it and play our own game.
You can follow Dolphins' run to a state title on Cox 11 or in the Virginian-Pilot. For Pilot Practice, I'm Larry Obama.
And here we are in Virginia Beach at Cox High School, where we're going to see the Cox Falcons take on the Salem Sun Devils. And it's going to be a nice start here with Terrell Lightbody going number 7. It's going to be fumbled. Big recovery by Cox. A nice start to the game.
Junior defensive tackle Donnell Story hopping on the loose football, and then it's the Falcons quarterback Tommy McKee running in for a touchdown. He's been engineering that high-octane Cox attack, and the Falcons will lead first, and then they fake the extra point. It's going to be a 2-point conversion, so put it on the board. Give the Falcons an 8-0 lead at home. Great start for Bill Stachelski's team as they're off to their best start as a program in a season since 1991, Morgan.
It's 1991, it's a long time there, Matt. We've got Kyrie Breton with a catch here from Lightbody. It's going to be coming through here. Nice play here with Salem being able to get their way on the headway. They don't quite make it in, but here on the next play, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to be a quarterback keeper, Lightbody from a yard out. And now Salem's down 2. Will they go for 1 or go for 2? They go for 2 here. Here's the 2-point try to knot it up at 8. But it is broken up by Chris Rudiger in the back of the end zone, so the Falcons maintain a slim lead midway through the first quarter.
Tight game here, so we can see if this momentum keeps up. And we've got McKee here with a nice touchdown run, getting it 15-6 there. Exciting to see how it's going to continue going back and forth. I can just feel this the whole game here. As Salem, Lightbody, a name we keep hearing here, he's going to get around for a 4-yard touchdown run. Nice momentum shifter there, 15-13 Salem.
Yeah, the sophomore doing a good job filling in after the graduation of Bucky Hodges to Virginia Tech. The Sun Devils were wondering about the quarterback position. He's done pretty well. And that running game for Cox is doing very well as Mike DeMasi, and you see the Falcons posse dapping him up after the touchdown. Cox has the extra point, though. Looks like it's blocked as Salem will avoid going down by another point here. So it's 21-13 in favor of Cox. Salem only down a possession with a touchdown and 2-point conversion. There is Dejan Bland with the run. Pinball action, 11 yards to the end zone.
That's nice with 2:50 left in the game there. Third quarter, we've got Salem going with a pass up here. Is it going to get through? 2-point conversion is not complete. It's going to remain with 21-19 there for Cox. And Cox is going to continue to try to hold this, and it's going to be playing out here to see if Salem is able to take the lead.
Yeah, back and forth action as you hit it on, Morgan, earlier. It's just been a really entertaining game. As you see, almost offsides there is the hard count, but here you get a terrific defensive play by the junior defensive end, Trevon Hill, bringing down McKee. As we take another look at it, you see why he is a highly recruited prospect in the class of 2015.
Great defensive play, and Trevon Hill will end up having 12 tackles this game, so he's obviously making a great impact defensively. Big reason here if Cox ends up being able to pull through our Salem here. Fumble by number 4. It's going to be scooped up by number 25, Quadri Corbin of Salem, on Cox's 17 with 4:11 left to play.
And that miscue is going to set up a potential go-ahead and maybe game-winning field goal by Tyler McKee, 27 yards. Salem up 1, Cox with one last chance here as they'll go to the Stanford Cal band play, lateral it around and see if you can pull off a miracle touchdown at the very end, but doesn't look like this is going to work here as you see the Salem defenders swarming to the ball, and this one will end with the Sun Devils pulling out a hard-fought road victory over the previous undefeated Falcons, 22-21.
You know, and Salem here held the number 5 Falcons to just 25 yards in the final 15 minutes. Great defensive effort there. Salem takes Cox 22-21. Kyrie Burton have a large game there with 6 runs, 50 yards. Trevon Hill, again, as we saw him, huge number of tackles. Tommy McKee for Cox doing his very best there with 2 touchdowns. Exciting way to see a nail-biter there as it closes out.
Maybe the game of the year thus far in the Beach. More Beach District action. Ocean Lakes, they stay undefeated, and the team to beat 49-16 over Bayside behind Jason Lewis's 2 touchdown runs. And a mild upset, Kempsville knocking off Tallwood 25-20 as Kyron Speller scores 3 touchdowns.
And more in the Beach. We have First Colonial over Princess Anne, 46-13. They'll improve to 3-1. And Green Run over Kellam, 47-30. Anthony Scott having a nice game there with 258 total yards. Over
in the Eastern District, it was Lake Taylor blanking Maury 56-0. Shaheem Johnson with 3 touchdown passes and 193 yards through the air. Norcom with a shutout, 33-0 over Wilson as Brian Cavalcante, the junior fullback, with 116 yards and a touchdown on the ground for the Greyhounds.
And Granby over Booker T, 26-22. Quan Brown having a nice 3 sacks there. Churchland over Norview, 26-7 in the Eastern District with Jamal Edwards having 142 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Well, coming up next, it's the Great American Rivalry Series, Phoebus versus Hampton, here on Sports Report. Back here on the Cox 11 Sports Report, we go to Darling Stadium, part of the Great American Rivalry Series, as the Phoebus Phantoms take on the Hampton Crabbers, 2 of the top rivalry teams in the state. They've been in state championship games for many years, Morgan, and these 2 programs have aspirations of going deep in the playoffs yet again.
And we're going to start off quickly. Keep an eye on Phoebus here. Marshawn Williams, Virginia Tech commit, is going to have a nice start off to the game here. Interesting, as he was a transfer from Hampton High here, so it must be fun playing some of his old players. As he keeps going here, going through, he's going to punch it in, getting them on the board. Phantoms up 7-0.
Got a feeling we'll see plenty of Williams throughout this highlight package as he finds the end zone once. He found the end zone 8 times a couple weeks ago. And you mentioned that spice to the rivalry. Williams and quarterback Joe Addison now at Phoebus after playing at Hampton. And Hampton's quarterback Javon Quillens had a good season thus far. He finds Demetrius Strickland for a completion as the Crabbers are moving closer to the end zone. But this time it's big Walter Brantley bringing down Quillen for the sack.
It's a nice 10-yard loss there, which is a good way here for Hampton to keep on the board here. We've got an interception by Phantoms. Kenneth Giles, watch him zig and zag. It's going to end up Willie at the 40, at the 30. He's going to keep going, zigs and zags, passes that defender, and he is going to take it to the house. That's 87 yards, putting them 14-0, expanding that lead there for the Crabbers.
He was running out of gas at the end there, huffing and puffing, but he made it 87 yards to the end zone for Giles, and it's back to Marshawn Williams, the grinder, the bruiser, the workhorse, as he keeps that Phantoms offense moving, and he's turning those legs closer to the end zone, and why not give it to him to finish off the drive?
And we're going to say here is Hampton's going to try to come back here, 21-0, pretty big deficit here as they're going to play. It's going to get the long ball. It's going to be incomplete, which is unfortunate there for Hampton, but they're not going to quit here. We've got number 1, Javon Quillen, as they've gone in here trying to make the score. He gets pushed out just inside the goal line there. unfortunate play there.
And it drew a penalty, but on the slant pattern in the end zone, it is picked off by Darius Jones, and that Phoebus secondary has come to play, picking off Quillen and Blanken and his receivers. Phoebus up 21-0 as we get underway here in the second half, and it'll be the York transfer Jamari Becknell fielding at about the 15-yard line. He's going to take this kickoff return into Crabber territory before he's eventually knocked out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. That's a 50-plus yard return for Becknell.
Yeah, but he sets up here Williams, who here is going to have his third touchdown of the day, 28-0 for Phoebus. Continuing, he had 8 touchdowns last week, 3 more already this game. You know, how is he going to end up playing out here?
He's already over 1,000 yards on the season, and we've just hit the midway point, or about to. And now it's an interception again for the Phoebus defense. Hassan Price, 1 of 2 on the evening for the Phantoms DB. And Hampton, every time they get close, it ends up ending in a turnover, and that Phoebus defense capitalizing on every opportunity.
And Williams here, a name we're going to continue to hear. Legs running, no one stopping him. He is just a workhorse as he continues down this field. This is going to end up being his 4th touchdown of the night, 17 of the season thus far, 35-0 there for the Phantoms. And we've got Robbie Robinson here. Keep your eye on him on this return. It's going to 3-4 defenders, 5-6. You think you can stop him, but he just keeps juking, moving around. They continue to try to get his hands on him, but he just breaks tackle after tackle, and he's going to end up going 79 yards here to pay dirt, which is a great run for that sophomore, 42-0 for the Phantoms.
Remember, Robinson had a kick return against Demi for a touchdown, now a punt return, and the Phantoms blank Hampton 42-0, the largest margin of victory in the series. Williams with 233 on the ground, 4 touchdowns. Price with 2 picks. Giles with a touchdown return off a pick, while Quillen has 76 yards passing in defeat.
And more in the peninsula, we have Woodside over Gloucester 27-24. Jaquan Lester having a big game with 2 touchdowns. And we have Denby over Warwick 28-0, with Darius Banks having 154 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And in the peninsula also was Kickinton over Menchville 35-0. You see Desmond Savage with 149 yards passing, a touchdown through the air, and 1 on the ground.
Atlantic Shores taking Hampton Christian 69-6 with 126 yards and 2 touchdowns there for Brandon Britt. And Bishop Sullivan over Norfolk Christian, good private school game there, 66-32 with Blake LaRousse having 319 yards.
LaRousse's lighting it up, and Portsmouth Christian a winner over Greenbrier Christian 28-20 behind John Pope's 2 touchdown runs. Norfolk Academy all over Hampton Roads Academy 45-7 as Alan Parrott throws 3 touchdowns through the air.
And player of the week, no doubt here with Green Run, Austin Lynch having a large game here with 5 touchdowns, 391 yards. Stallions moved to 3-2 after a 47-30 win over Kellam.
Our 11 to watch, we go over some college commits throughout the area. Guys going to BCS schools and FBS Division I universities. Quinn Blanding of Bayside headed to the University of Virginia. Joining him there will be Oscar Smith, defensive tackle, Andrew Brown. Both of those young men rated in the top 50 in the country.
And Marshawn Williams, as we mentioned earlier, is heading off to be a Hokie at Virginia Tech. And Jalen Bradshaw of Oscar Smith going to be a teammate there, which is going to be exciting there at Virginia Tech.
Give them a threat out wide at receiver. Jalen Holmes, a defensive end, tight end, all-state performer from Lake Taylor, is going to Ohio State University to play for Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes, while Sean James, a 2-sport athlete at Green Run High in Virginia Beach, will play his college football for the East Carolina Pirates.
And 2 more teammates here, Western Branch, Jaquan Lawrence and Terrence Ricks of Western Branch, going to be teammates in Western Branch and teammates at Wake Forest.
Well, we're out of time. We'll talk to you next week. For Morgan, I'm Matt. Talk to you next week on the Sports Report.